Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel. So for today's video, as you can see here, I have my eyeshadow palette drawer kind of out right now, and it is such a mess, but I wanted to do a little end of the year palette declutter. So I really want to get rid of quite a few palettes. I just need to go through this because I have like quite a few new ones that I haven't been able to touch yet, just because it gets so overwhelming when I have all of these palettes. So I definitely want to go ahead and get rid of some of these. I just want to make a disclaimer. When I say get rid of, it means I'll be either I'll be pretty much giving most of these palettes to friends and family, or selling some of my higher end ones on my Poshmark account, which I will leave it down below. But I don't give like my used makeup to like subscribers or anything, just for safety reasons. Usually just friends and family will get those. So I did want to clear that up, but it doesn't mean I'm like throwing these away or anything. They're going to be going to good homes, I promise. So anyways, let's go ahead and get started. So the first palette I have, this is from Huda Beauty. It's the new nudes, and I absolutely adore this palette. I just got it this year and it is so amazing. So of course this is going to be staying in my collection. This is one of my all-time favorites right now. We also have the Anastasia Sultry palette. I also recently got this one. I've gotten a lot of palettes recently, and there's been some amazing ones this year. I absolutely love this for like a fun smoky eye. Plus it's very neutral as well. I just love these shades in here, and there's some fun like glittery shades as well. So I'll also be keeping this one. We have the Pretty Vulgar Nightingale palette. I got this in a BoxyCharm, and I actually included this in one of my worst products for 2018. I'm just not a huge fan of these shadows. The formula is a little bit tricky. I literally spend like 5 minutes trying to blend some of these deeper colors, so I'm just not a big fan of this formula, so I will be letting this one go. I have the Lime Crime Venus 3. I've only used this once so far, so I think I want to hold on to it. I wasn't like a huge fan of it though. When I did use it, it just seemed like it was okay, not that amazing, but I really like this color selection, and I want to try it at least one more time before I really decide if I want to keep it or not. So for now I'm keeping it. Also this Tarte, I think it's Be a Mermaid palette. This one was really fun. I really like this color selection. I feel like it's really cute and neutral, so I think I'm going to hang on to this one for now. I know it's limited edition, so maybe eventually down the line I will declutter it, but I really like these colors, and even though I try not to keep much limited edition stuff, this one just is really nice, so I do want to hold on to it. I also have from Tarte the Clay Play palette, and I used to really enjoy this one. I don't know what has happened, but I used it for the first time in a while last week for my bronzer, and it looked so patchy and so weird. So I think I'm going to go ahead and declutter this. Plus it's like all mattes, and I don't really use like all matte palettes very often, so I'm going to let this one go. I have this little palette I got also in a BoxyCharm. I seem to always get different palettes in BoxyCharm, but for some reason it seems like I'm never like super excited about the palettes I get, but for some reason I have not used this one yet. This one is from Ace Beauty, if I didn't say that already. It's the Grandiose palette, and I feel like these colors look so pretty in here, and I really want to use it. I think I've only swatched it, so I want to try it out, see how it goes, so I'm going to keep that one. I have this Pixie and Chloe Morello palette. I got quite a few different palettes from Pixie. They did some collaborations with different YouTubers and bloggers, but I don't know, I just haven't even touched this thing. So I feel like I'm going to go ahead and declare this. I'm not a huge fan of the layout of this palette, so I'm going to let that one go. Also, this Pixie one with Dolce Candy. I don't really know what the purpose was of this one. I feel like it's supposed to be highlights and maybe blushes, and I guess you could use them for shadows too, but it's like all like shimmery shades, but I just don't see myself using this anytime soon, so I will declare this as well. We have a couple of Huda Beauty palettes. This one is the Rose Gold Remastered, and I've used this a couple times. I'm honestly kind of disappointed by it. I feel like it's not what I was expecting, because I know they like redid the formula and stuff from the original, but I feel like these shades are completely different than the original ones were. Like the shimmers are different and the mattes are supposed to be, so I'm not sure how I feel about it. I still want to kind of test it out a little bit, because I really do like the new nudes palette, so I feel like I want to use this like once or twice more and see how it goes, so I'm gonna hold on to it. But I'm definitely keeping the Desert Dusk. I really enjoy this palette. Especially love this Twilight shade right here. It is so stunning. I feel like the other shades look like I haven't used them very much. That's so funny. And then I have this Cosmo one, which I don't really care for the glittery one. So if something happened to that, like shattered or something, but I pretty much don't use that color anyway. But I'm going to be keeping this palette. Okay, you guys will have to bear with me because my other camera keeps dying, so I'm actually using my better camera. I was using my vlog one, but hopefully it's not like too much of a difference. So anyways, back to the declutter. Next up is the Pat McGrath Mothership 5 palette. I know this palette is like super popular and I was so excited about it. You guys might have seen my review on it, but I don't know. I feel like these colors just aren't for me. It creates beautiful looks, but this is such a crazy expensive palette and I felt like it wasn't worth it in my opinion for myself, just because I don't think I'm going to use these colors. Like I would rather prefer using my Anastasia Sultry or my Huda Beauty palette over this. So for that reason, I will probably end up decluttering this and probably selling it just because I spent a lot of money on this palette. We also have this e.l.f. palette, the Modern Metals palette. And I have not actually used this one yet. I'm trying not to. I thought I grabbed all my palettes out that I haven't touched yet, but apparently not. But I really have been wanting to use this because I want to use some more drugstore stuff on my channel. I'm trying to find some really good drugstore items, but sometimes it's hard for me with drugstore eyeshadow. I'm just not usually the biggest fan of it, but I do want to keep this one to test it out. Also up here I have this Pure Love Your Selfie 3 palette. I love the packaging on this one. It's so fun. I just did a video. I think it was my Get Ready With Me answering your guys' questions with this palette, and it is really pretty, and I've only used it once, so I definitely want to use it a few more times. It is kind of like a basic colors palette, but I have to be honest, I really like neutrals, so you guys will probably learn that from me. But I also have this Charlotte Tilbury palette, the Stars in Your Eyes palette, and I was so excited to get this one in PR from Charlotte Tilbury, but I tried it out and I was just really underwhelmed with the shades. The shimmer colors just did not impress me very much, and the mattes were just okay, so I was kind of let down by this formula. I was expecting a lot more from such a high-end brand, so I will be decluttering this one. Also, this Lorac Unzipped, I believe this is the I think it's the original Unzipped palette. I've had this for so long. The colors are really pretty in here, but I do need to go ahead and declutter this because I don't like to keep things for too long, especially this one's probably nearing its expiration date. I remember when Lorac was like all the rage, and those were like my favorite palettes, but I don't know, they just haven't come out with anything lately that I've been loving, so this is my last Lorac palette in my collection, and unfortunately it's getting decluttered. I also have the Urban Decay Born to Run palette. This was definitely a favorite for this year. It is just such a good all-around palette. I feel like it has everything you need in here, from your neutrals to your fun colors, just like everything. So this has been a favorite. I'm definitely keeping it. I have this Maybelline Soda Pop palette, and like I was saying earlier, I definitely want to use more drugstore palettes, and I heard that this one was pretty good. I have not used it yet though, but I'm really liking this color selection, so I do want to hold on to that. I have this Pixie palette. It's Pixie and Whaley. I feel like these colors just look like really neutral and basic, so I kind of want to keep this just because it's a nice little palette, and I didn't keep a lot from Pixie, so I will be keeping this one. I also have this adorable Huda Beauty palette. I've only used this once, but I really loved the look that came out with it. I just feel like this totally looks like a pretty fall palette. Just gives me like pumpkin spice vibes, so I will be keeping this one. I have this Artistry palette from Bad Habit. I have like 10 palettes from them that I need to use. This is like one of the only ones I've used so far, and I really like it. I feel like they have a really good formula. I'm not a huge fan of like the drugstore shadows that I can get at like Target, Walmart, like your Maybelline, L'Oreal, those kind of stuff, but the Bad Habit and ColourPop are some of my favorite like cheaper brands, and these ones are really nice. I know they are very hit or miss with people since they do copy other palettes, but I don't know, they're just really good. I really like their formula so far, and I think they have a really good price, so I'm keeping this one for sure. This is supposed to be a dupe for the Anastasia and Mario palette. I also have the Naked Cherry. I just got this one this year, and I really do enjoy it. I think it's very pretty. One of my favorite looks I did all year was with this palette, and it's so beautiful. And the only drawback is I feel like these shades, it's a very certain kind of color story, so you really kind of have to like these mauve-y berry tones, because your looks can look a little bit similar, but I really like these colors, so I will be keeping the Cherry. I also have the original Naked, and they sent me a new one. My original one that I bought years ago, I ended up getting rid of because that one was just old. But it's funny, I just don't enjoy this palette anymore. My tastes have completely changed with this palette. There's just been so many better formulas out there and better eyeshadows, and I used it for the first time like a couple months ago, and I was just like, I really don't like this palette. So unfortunately I will be letting this one go. I'm really sad though, since it is gone. I would really like them to come out with it again, but with a whole reformulated eyeshadow quality, because I don't know, I just don't love this one, and I feel like this one needs a little bit more mattes to it. But I would love for them to keep like Sin, Naked, Buck, and Toasted is a really good one, Half Baked, but just change a couple other colors and like redo it. I would love for them to do that because it is a nice like palette, and I'm sad to get rid of it, but I'm just not using it. We also have the Anastasia Norvina palette. I really enjoy this one. This one has some really pretty cooler tones with purples. It's so gorgeous. I'll definitely be keeping that one. I also have the Soft Glam, which I do want to keep this one. It is a little bit similar to the Sultry. I feel like this one's just more on the warm side, while the Sultry is more cool. But I do like these like warm neutral colors, so I'm going to keep that. It's just a nice everyday palette. It's actually really similar to this ColourPop one. Let me compare them. They really do look like they have a similar color selection. I kind of like them for comparison. Like, I really like the high end, and then I also really like the more affordable ColourPop palettes too. It's so hard because I really feel like these are easily dupes for each other, but I am keeping both of them. We also have this Smashbox palette. I got it in Ipsy. It's their Cover Shop Bold Glitter Eye Palette. I just don't see myself using these glitter shades that often. They're just a little bit out there. Let me swatch it. It's very chunky glitter, so I think I'm going to go ahead and let this one go. I just don't see myself using it. I also have this one. This is the Gemstone Obsessions from Huda Beauty. I have not actually used this one yet, so it's not supposed to be in this drawer, but I really like these colors in here, so I feel like I would rather have this one over the Smashbox. I just feel like this one is a little bit more better quality. I really like Huda Beauty. I also have this ColourPop Dream Street palette. I really need to use this more. I think I've only used it a couple times. This one is with Kathleen Lights. It's her collection. I do want to hold on to it. This one from Urban Decay, the Kristen Leanne collection. They came out with this smaller palette, which is all matte shades, and like I said earlier, I don't really love like all matte palettes, so I am gonna declutter that one. I also have this palette, which this is my only all matte palette that I actually love and use, the Baked Browns from Dose of Colors. It is such a good formula. I really love their shadows. They look so natural and beautiful on the eyes. They're really easy to blend. The only downside is they have so much fallout, but I love the formula of these. I think they're so good, and this is just like a basic palette I can reach for when I need something quick and easy. So this is like the only matte palette I'll be keeping for the most part. I have this Glitter Storm palette from Ciate. Love the packaging on this one. It's so fun. This one's actually really good, and I feel like it has some really pretty shades. You have your glitters on top, and then a few mattes and a couple shimmers. So I really do enjoy this one. I think it's still on sale at Sephora. I would definitely recommend it. I have my Natasha Denona Lila palette. This one is beautiful. This is my only Natasha Denona. It is so pretty. I love the purple shades in this palette. I need to pull this out more and use it. It's so good. So I will be obviously keeping it. I have this one from Alamar Cosmetics. I also got this in a BoxyCharm. Like I said, for some reason, I just don't use my BoxyCharm palettes that much, but I think this one is so pretty. Very, like, summery, so I think I want to save this and try to use it this summer. I have this palette from Marc Jacobs. This one is the Fantasine palette. I think this came out with their Coconut collection either this year or last year. I can't remember, but I've hardly used this one. I had a thing where I really liked Marc Jacobs palettes, but now I I don't know, they're just okay. I don't really care for this palette as much, and for how expensive it is, I think I'm gonna declutter it. I have this one from Sigma. It's called Creme de Couture, and I am going to hold on to this one even though it is like very bright colors, but I feel like I don't have anything like this in my collection, and if I'm needing some like pastel shade, this is like my go-to, so I am going to be keeping that for that reason. Let's see, I also have this one. This is from Laura Lee Los Angeles, the Nudie Patootie. When I saw her come out with this, I was really excited about it. I really like the color selection and everything, but I haven't used this hardly at all, and I think it's just, I need to let it go. I'm not a huge fan of Laura Lee anymore, and I just don't really want to support her brand anymore, so I will be letting this one go. I have this one from Pixie, and it's Judy Time. This one was a really nice one, just simple palette, but I think I'm going to declutter this one because I kept that little one, and I think I would use that a little bit more, so I will let this one go. Let's get these small ones out of the way. The Katy Kat palette from CoverGirl. I just don't love this one either. I don't know what it is with some of the drugstore shadows. They just don't really work that well for me, so I'm going to let that one go. You guys will have to comment down below like your favorite drugstore eyeshadow palettes, because I want to get some better ones in my collection. This one here from Stellar Beauty. This one's really pretty, and I used it, and I feel like I just never go for it that much. I feel like Stellar Beauty, not a lot of people talk about it, but I think I will let this one go for now. I don't think I'm going to use it that much. I also have the Marvelous Mauves from Dose of Colors, which looks like this. This one is really pretty, like pinky tones. I definitely don't use this one as much as my Baked Browns, but I just really like the formula of these, and I want to try this one a little bit more, so I'm going to keep it. I also have my other Marc Jacobs palette. This is the Glambition palette, which I used to really, really like this palette. It's just a nice, like, all neutrals kind of thing. I think I'm going to hold on to this one as well. I want to use this more. I feel like it's been hiding in my collection, so I want to keep that one. I also have this little palette, which is all ColourPop shadows that I put in here. I don't really use single shadows anymore. I know that's really sad. I feel like I need to move these into my Z palette. I have my big Z palette back here, so I think I'm going to do that because I'm just not using them anymore. What I really want to get is like a magnetic palette with a mirror. I think I would use my shadows more that way. I have this little palette from Lime Crime called the Plushies, and I don't think I'm going to use this one. These colors aren't really my kind of vibes, so I think I'm going to declutter this one unless you guys tell me down below if it's like amazing, but I don't know. I don't think I need it. I also have this Carity palette, the Rose All Day. This one's actually really pretty. I am going to hold on to it. I really like the colors in this one. I love the whole pinky rosy tone of vibes, and Carity is a really good and expensive brand as well. This one is from ColourPop, the Fame palette. For some reason, I wanted this palette, but I love cool tones, but I just don't really use this. I feel like all the colors look the same. Sorry, I didn't realize how high up I am, but I feel like all the colors look the same in this one, so I am decluttering it. I also have this Morphe palette. I don't think I've used this, have I? Maybe I have. The Happy Hour palette. I think I've maybe used it once, but these shades are very nice. I think I'm going to keep it for now, try to use it a little bit more. I have this Tarte one hiding in the corner, the Make Believe in Yourself. I really used to love this palette. I was like obsessed with it, but I feel like I have things that I like a little bit more now. Like it only has one matte and then everything else is shimmer. The shimmers are really pretty, but I think I have the Too Faced Chocolate Gold Bar, and that one has some gorgeous shimmers as well in one matte, so I think I'm going to keep that instead and declutter this one. I also have the Douce palette by Juvia's Place, and I think I'm going to go ahead and let this one go as well. I just don't really use this color selection. It's a very different color selection for me, so I just haven't used it a ton. I think I need to let it go. I have this Dominique Cosmetics Latte palette, which I really love. It's a really nice neutral palette. You guys know I'm a sucker for neutrals, so obviously keeping that one. This one from Pure, it's still in the box. I know already I'm going to be decluttering it. I got it in a BoxyCharm, but like some of these palettes I just don't really want in my collection. Like, I don't know, they're just not like my favorite. I don't love Pure's eyeshadows, and I feel like I always get them in BoxyCharms. but I am decluttering this one, just not a huge fan of it. This also I will be decluttering. I just don't use it. I don't know what it is. I think BoxyCharm needs to like up their game a little bit, include some better palettes, and expand into more brands besides just like the same few ones they seem to use. So I'm letting that one go. This is just an empty Z palette, which I'll keep. I have it. Oh, this is another one from Bad Habit, which I'm going to keep also. This one is actually a dupe for the Natasha Denona Star palette, which I did not like that formula, but I actually prefer this over the Star palette, which is funny. So I'm keeping this one for sure. I have the City Limits by IBY Beauty. I don't think I've used this one, honestly, but I don't know. I don't think I'm into these colors right now, so I'm going to let this one go. I also have the Fortune palette from ColourPop. Oh my gosh, I think I've used this like once. Do I want to keep it? I might hold on to this one. I'm kind of curious about these shades. I think I'm going to hold on to it. This one is from MAC, the Classic Cutie. I got this one at TJ Maxx, and I got it for $24.99, which now they're $19.99, so I'm kind of jealous, but I just really love the packaging on this one. But I've used this a few times. I'm not really sure how I feel about it. These two shades don't really show up, and then pretty much I just use this lilac color in the crease, and then the other purples on the lid. I'm not like that obsessed with it. I've used it a couple times. I think I'm going to go ahead and declutter it. I just didn't really love it. I might still be able to return this one because I got it like a couple weeks ago, and I'm just kind of disappointed. So let me know also if you guys have any of these MAC palettes that you love. I just need like an all-in-one palette that works, and I just don't love that one. And then I have this Morphe palette. This one is called, what is this? The 9B Bronzed Babe. I haven't really used this one, but somehow like I always like make a mess with my palettes. I always like dig my fingernails into them. It's really frustrating. I think I will go ahead and declutter this one. I just don't really use it. And since I kept some other Morphe ones, I think it's safe to let that go. I have this one, which I really like as well from Bad Habit. It's the After Party palette, which is a dupe for the Huda Beauty. Something Huda Beauty. It's one of her mini palettes. This one's a little bit bigger. I really like these cool tone shades. It's actually kind of reminds me of the Sultry palette in a way, but I'm going to hold on to this one for now. I want to do like a video with the Bad Habit stuff. Since I have so much of it, I need to do like an entire video on it, and then I can kind of go from there and maybe declutter some of the palettes. I also have this one from Tarte. This is one of my all-time favorite palettes this year. The Love, Trust, and Fairy Dust. I love the packaging and I love the colors. As you can see, I've like used and abused this palette so much. It's beautiful. I feel like this one, they might not even make it anymore, but it is literally so, I've used this so much this year. It is incredible. I have this one from It Cosmetics, which I really feel like I should use this. I got this last Christmas, and I just never used it. I feel like I haven't even touched it. Yeah, like the shadows are still like normal. I feel like I want to at least try this once before getting rid of it. It's so pretty, so I'm going to keep that. I know my mom also got this for Christmas. My dad got it for both of us, and I know she loved it. So if all this fails, if I don't like it, I will give it to her. This one from e.l.f., the Rose Gold Sunset. I don't think I've used this. I have not. So I'm going to hold on to that one. This is just my Z palette. I need to get a new palette that has a mirror, I think, because I think I would use it more, but I'm going to keep this. It has a mixture of shadows from MAC, Anastasia, and Makeup Geek, so keeping that. This one over here, this is also from Tarte and Aspen Ovard. This was also a huge favorite of mine this year. It's very like easy light neutrals, which I love, and I just use this so much. I think this one might be discontinued as well, but I'm just gonna hold on to it for myself. Maybe they'll bring it out again or something similar. I have this one from Wet n Wild. This one is the Not a Basic Peach. I've used this for a Halloween look, I think. Have I used this? I think I just used this orange shade and it was pretty good. I don't know. Should I keep this? I feel like I don't know. I've used it once. I feel like I'm not really going to reach into this very much. I'm going to keep it for now just to have more drugstore options. This one is the L'Oreal Paradise Enchanted. I know for a fact I'm decluttering this one. I did not like this formula at all. Not very good. This one from Colored Rain. Oh my gosh, people raved about this. Was it last year maybe? The Queen of Hearts palette. It is really beautiful. I just don't know why. I never reach for this palette for some reason, but I definitely want to. Maybe I can put it in my Shop My Stash video. So I'm going to keep this one. We have the Emily Edit and Makeup Revolution, the Once palette. I'm going to keep this one. This one has a huge collection of colors and it's very user friendly, so easy to use, blends out great. So I'm going to keep that. I also have this Maybelline Lemonade Craze palette, which I think I'm going to hold on to. I've only used it once and I used that yellow shade. It was pretty decent, so I think I'm going to use hold on to that one. Oh my gosh, this Violet Voss Pro, I used to use this a ton. It's kind of like that ColourPop palette. A lot of my looks come out looking really similar with this one. So I'm kind of like, do I want to hold on to it or do I want to declutter? This is so hard. I think I'm going to keep it for now. I know I used to love that palette so much. I have this one from Lime Crime. It's a cute little Polly Pocket looking palette. It's called Pocket Candy. I don't think I've used this one though. It has a really pretty yellow and pink in there. I feel like I want to at least try it out and it's so cute, so I have to keep it. This KKW in Mario palette I will be decluttering. It just didn't work for me. I wasn't a fan of these shadows and for some reason these dark shades just did not want to blend for me, so I am going to declutter. I also have this Pure Pro times Edian palette. I got this last year. It's just okay. I'm not like a huge fan of it, so I think it's okay to declutter that one. And then this one from Carity, I have not used this yet, but I was kind of holding on to it for these like bright colors just in case I want to use it for a certain look. Like sometimes I just really want like a bright blue or a bright pink and I feel like this would be a good option. So I think I'm going to hold on to that. This Jeffree Star Thirsty palette. This was my only Jeffree Star palette purchase and I bought it during the summer. For some reason though, I didn't really love it. I think I wasn't expecting these glitters to be like so chunky, but I think I want to hold on to this one and try it out again because I'm not ready to give up on it yet. And then of course I have my Jaclyn Hill palette, which I want to keep. So that is this drawer. Now I'm going to go ahead and go through. I still have some Too Faced palettes to go through. Those are in another location, so I'm going to grab those. So here's all of my Too Faced palettes, which I have quite a few of because Too Faced is one of my favorite makeup brands. I just buy a lot from them. So let me go through these really fast. Most of these I'll probably be keeping, but I do need to get rid of some, which some of these might be surprising actually. The Too Faced Gingerbread Spice, I just got this year, and I really love it, so I'm keeping that one. It's so beautiful. The White Chocolate Bar, this one I didn't really care for as much. I just don't find myself using it. I don't know, the colors are just a little bit too light, like they don't show up very well, and I'm not a huge fan of these shimmery shades, so I'm going to declutter it. This chocolate bar palette I've had for so long. I think I need to go ahead and let it go. I feel like this is super old. Like this is the first packaging that's like super bulky, and maybe I'll end up purchasing it again later down the road if I'm missing it, but it's time to let this one go, unfortunately. The chocolate gold bar I absolutely love. I will be keeping this one. This one is very different. Some people don't like it, but it has a few matte shades and then the rest are shimmers, but this shimmer formula is incredible. It's such a good palette, so keeping. This Clover palette I just got this year actually, and I haven't really used it a lot, but I really like this color selection, so I do want to try and use this more. The Semi-Sweet Chocolate Bar, I think I'm going to let this one go too. It's just not one that I gravitate towards a lot. Not a huge fan of the shimmer colors in this one. It just has some pretty, I don't know, boring shades in my opinion, so I'm going to let this go. And then my Sweet Peach palette I'm also keeping. I feel like I need to get a new one of these because I feel like this one might be expiring soon. I got this one when it released. That might have been like 3 or 4 years ago, maybe 3 years ago. I might end up upgrading this one. I know Too Faced is running a lot of sales right now, so I might buy myself a new one, but I'm going to keep this for now. Next is this little drawer of Too Faced palettes. My Pretty Rich palette I just got this year. It's very nice. I'm going to be keeping it. I did a review on that one. Okay, these two you guys might have seen in my worst of 2018. I will be decluttering these. I just was not a huge fan of the Tutti Frutti collection. It was kind of a letdown. I'm going to declutter both of these. I have have this Natural Matte Palette from Too Faced. I actually got this one at TJ Maxx very recently. I have not used it yet. I used to love this palette and it was so good, but for some reason I just have not used it yet, so I'm going to keep it. I'm also keeping both of these, the Too Faced Sugar Cookie and Tickled Peach. They're so stinking adorable. I just love these shadows, so I'm going to keep those. They're super cute little palettes. Okay, I changed my mind on this one. I think I'm going to let it go. I don't know. I just don't need any matte palettes, and I have so many Too Faced palettes. I think I need to declutter this one. So I changed my mind on that. I also have this little Clover palette. This one is Adorbs. I really like these colors. It's just a really easy look that I can do with this one, so I will keep it. Then we have the Natural Eyes palette, which looks like this. I like these shades, but they're not like my favorite go-tos. I feel like I need to try this one more time. I just don't love these darker shades in it. For some reason, they just look off on me. What should I do? I wish I still had the old one. I feel like I liked the old version better. I'm gonna keep it for now. I think I want to use it one more time to make my mind up. This is a face palette, so I'm going to skip that. Well, it says face and eye palette, but I use it for face, so I guess I'll include it in this video. But really pretty. I love these shades. I'm going to keep that. We also have the Just Peachy Mattes, which looks like this. Oh yeah, I think since I decluttered that Natural Matte palette, I think I can keep this one. It's a really good one. Then we have the Natural Face, which is a face palette, so I don't really need to go through that. The Too Faced Life's a Festival palette. I actually really like this one. The only thing that sucks with this one is it doesn't have like a deeper shade in there. But I know this one is getting discontinued. I've seen it at TJ Maxx and stuff, but it is such a good like palette. I really like the formula, so I think I'm going to keep it for now because this is just a favorite of mine. And then the Candy Johnson I Want Candy palette. This one's really nice, but I just feel like I don't use it a lot with this layout. I don't know. Like I said, I love having mirrors in my palettes, but I really like these colors. I feel like they're really nice everyday shades. I'm going to keep it for now, I think. So here is how everything looks in the end. Here is all the palettes I am keeping. I did end up keeping 60 palettes, and everything looks so nice and organized again. And then here's my bag of decluttered stuff, which I know you can't see it that well, but this whole bag fit like all my decluttered palettes, and I decluttered 34 palettes. So not quite half. I kind of wanted to get half, but it just didn't make it there. But I really enjoyed doing this video. I love decluttering my makeup. It's so much fun, honestly, and it feels so good to get rid of some stuff that I just am not using, and I can make room for more and just have like all my favorites out so I can use some of these palettes that I haven't been able to lately since it's not so overwhelming. So I think that's going to be it for this video. Let me know what you guys think or what you guys want to see me declutter next, and I will talk to you guys in my next one. Bye guys.